morning, my name is Sujai and my matrix number is 200721.
My name is Tan Kai and matrix number is 202596.
My name is Akmaris and my number matrix is 202588.
My name is Soh Mingun and my matric number is 202726.
My name is Wong Sweet Yin. My matrix number is 202730.
So today we're going to discuss about how difficult to do zero waste in Malaysia. But before that, what is zero waste? Zero waste is actually the conservation of all resources by responsible production, consumption, eco uses, eco reuse and recovery properly without polluted other environments. So let's begin to stating our points.
Alright, I would like to start the discussion by giving out my opinion. So in my opinion, I think that it is difficult to practice the zero waste lifestyle in Malaysia. This is most probably due to the laziness of the Malaysian. It is undeniable that most of the Malaysians do not practice the zero waste lifestyle since we are not taught to since we are young, because we are not taught to do so, right? And thus most of the Malaysian usually do not have this kind of habit, like bringing the plastic bag, bringing their recyclable bag when going out, or bringing the lunch box when want to take away some food. This because they are too lazy to bring so much of things, such as just now what I said, recycling bag, utensil, recyclable straw, and also the bottle when going out, because that thing, it is very inconvenient to carry a bulk of item when walking around the mall to do shopping or to do grocery, right?
Sorry for interrupt.
Sorry.
I think because it's not not well educated, but it's not really practice the not many of us practice the zero waste. But actually we all during our primary school, we always bring our bottle, our lunch box. So doesn't it means that we already practice since young? Don't you agree?
Maybe for this for the now generation is practicing, but for the older generation, your father, your parents, for most of the people, they are not doing this, because if not mistaken, the 3R program is just start this few year, right?
Yeah, in 2011.
Yeah, in 2011. So maybe in long run, they will practice it lah. Okay, so back to my point. Therefore, I think that if possible, they will prefer to pay extra for the plastic bag or the plastic boxes, since the payment is not a big value for them. Okay, what's your point, Mingun?
Yeah, actually I agree with your point, which is the laziness of Malaysia. Malaysians are lazy. We can't deny it, because so it's hard for us to change their habits, and they keep ignorant because they do not realize that how important of making Malaysia a zero waste country, and have less awareness about preserve the environment, and have less knowledge on their role for the zero waste in this context. If we see from the statistic from the government and the government sector or non-government organization, we can see that majority of waste are sent to landfills and very less recycling rate. This is I think that this problem is caused by the Malaysian habit. For example, if we see from the everyday lives, actually Malaysians love to use the single-use plastics or something like non-recyclable things in their lifestyle. Although some of the vital waste are carried out by the government, which is a nationwide ban on plastic straws, which will be fully enforced starting this year, and also the 20-cent charge of plastic bag also will starting this year for all types of business premises. However, the ways that implemented by the government, it seems, can be indirectly encourage Malaysians to reduce the waste produced every day, but most of the Malaysians still act very stubborn and does not obey the law. So this will cause some of the cafe who wants to attract the customer, so that they will still providing plastic straws or plastic bag for their customers, who thinks that they can't drink without plastic straw while they can. So in this context, we can see that the government or local authorities does not play the role and also does not enforce the law very strictly and causes the action down the drain.
Sorry to interrupt. Just now you have mentioned waste sent to landfill. I'm not clear with that. Can you explain further?
Yeah, waste sent to landfill means that many of waste cannot be recycled and cannot be reused. This can be shown by the statistic from Solid Waste Management and also Public Cleansing Corporation (SW Corp), which collect the trash from January to November 2018, and they calculate it and puts the national recycling rate at only 0.06%, or about 1,800 tons of the 3 million tons of the waste collected in the period. Compared to data in 2015, the waste generation in some places such as household, industrial, commercial, and also institutional waste in the country was at 38,563 tons per day, and reached 88.8% of waste went to landfills. So that means from 2015 to 2018, the recycling rate of the waste in Malaysia is actually decreasing, and we can't deny it as the people still act ignorant in the way of Malaysia to become zero waste country. So do you understand, Jai?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sorry for inter. I don't agree either with Swee or Wing Lun. So as Swee said, the Malaysian is lazy, and Wing Lun said the less awareness about this. So in my view, I think that from new generation, we are more, the awareness of the public about this issue is increasing, because I think that our daily life is keep in touch with the social media. So there are many modern gadgets in our life, and we can receive many information about this issue. For example, everyone likes to listen to the radio while they are driving a car. So while they're driving the car, they will listen the radio and easily get the information about the zero waste or recycle. So through radio, the government also can share the campaigns or information about this zero waste to the listener. So we can say the radio can act as a reminder to public to practice zero waste lifestyle in their daily life. So what's your opinion, Jay?
Actually, I disagree with your point, because you said just listen to the radio and through the gadget, right?
Yeah.
Because they just listen, they didn't have the action, and I believe that action speak louder than everything. And you just listen and you didn't practice it. I don't think the zero waste lifestyle can be practiced in Malaysia, among the Malaysian. And from my point of view, I think it is difficult to practice zero waste lifestyle in Malaysia. This is because zero waste living is really dependent on access or specialty stores. And some cities are amazing because it is very easy for them access to zero waste product, and it is lucky for them for those who live in the city that have a package free store open up. And for those who live in the small town, it is no way for them to find the staple thing like rice, dry bean, pasta without plastic. So so even though for them who have the zero package store, it is also inconvenient because not everything we need in our daily life at already in the store. So like it is hard to find the product. So if you go to the zero package store, it is very inconvenient also because you need to bring the heavy glass container and also the big bag to the store to refill your daily item. Because we are not using plastic anymore, right? And then you need to bring the heavy glass container and also the big recycling bag. So it is very inconvenient. And can you imagine if like in your city you don't have the zero package store and you need to go to other cities to refill your daily use item, and you need to carry all those heavy thing, the heavy container and also the big bag, and you need to take bus and also take train. It is very inconvenient, and if you drive it will raise like other sustainable issues also, as well. So what is your
Excuse me for interruption.
yes?
May I ask Jai, what does zero waste? Zero what?
Zero waste.
Package free.
Zero
Package free
Package
stores.
free
What
store.
does this mean?
Like the store they didn't provide the plastic for you. Like if you go to supermarket, all the product like packaging in a plastic bag, right?
Yeah.
For the package free stores, they don't have the package. They just keep the product in a big jar, a big glass jar or what. So if you want to buy, you need to bring your glass jar or your recycling bag. So they didn't provide plastic bag any.
So what you mean is they would prefer to go to the supermarket which provide plastic bag instead of go to that store, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Alright,
Yes.
thank you.
I disagree with your point that if you want to practice the zero waste lifestyle, you not necessary to go to the package free shop. We can practice this like don't bring our own recycle bag to the normal shopping mall and buy the thing to put into the recycle bag.
But I think this is not zero waste living lifestyle anymore because the item you bought already packaged in a plastic package or what. This is not a zero waste living anymore.
I'm disagree with Jai since that's not the mean of zero waste. Zero waste is mean where there's proper consumption of or you dispose it properly. So it's mean there's not toxified or polluted the environment. So if you go to the supermarkets which have us already packaged in the plastic, it doesn't mean you go just throw the bag. Just throw the plastic to dustbin. So the zero waste doesn't strongly point we're going to make zero plastic. So we should go to the any store to just buy, but we need just how to properly reuse or how to properly dispose it. So for my view is kinda there's a lot of things that's from there's another part that you mentioned that Kayin said that the action is better than anything. But if you see in this reality, in this right now in this year, there are a lot of entertainments strongly applied to the zero go which means is go green. For example, in a cartoon, in the social media, which is totally invited people to go to the go greens. For example, there's challenge also this. Nowadays is the youngster totally influenced by the all amazing or awesome challenges. So the go green challenges if you provide something just for example, I'm also just kinda going to the Go Green, for example, just to buy the merchandise only. So that's very invited people. It's not the government does. It's not a less participant, but actually there are a lot of youngster participant. Instead of the older participant, there's kinda need a little bit of twist, where we a little bit of correction that of or change the way to approach the older one. So
Excuse me, can I make a comment here? Just now you said, right? Wait, she say already. By joining the campaign, yes, there's a lot of youngsters joining the campaign. But back to reality, did they do they do so? I don't think so, because just like Jai saying, actions speak louder than the words, right? So maybe they would just go to the campaign, then do the recycling stuff, then go back again to the laziness problem. They would not do recycling at home because maybe they don't have the recycling bins in their home.
but have you but I'm not that's not the I'm not agree. But have you realized that each time the events have been held, the recycle rate has been increased from year to year. Just like as Minglu said, even though the waste product is keep increasing, but the recycle rate is keep increasing. So that's made the awareness among the youngster. Sometimes how the youngster do that's affect also the older ones. In the multimedia section, the cartoon also. For example, in recently, that's teach the kids how to keep wash their hands in the in the Cartoon Network. In our world major problem, paramedic problems is coronavirus. So it's very interesting. I see that all my news, the kids keep know how to wash their hand properly. So that's made the youngster also not youngster is also the multimedia has showed that it's the better way to approach the people, which is suitable in which multimedia, for example, for that cartoon is totally is suitable for the kids.
Yes, I agree with you, but but if you say like about the coronavirus, they do wash their hand, right? But this probably because they want to they want to protect themselves from getting infected by the coronavirus. But this thing is about environment. They just like Minglun said, they are ignorant about to in conserve about the environment. So maybe for this topic, the campaign may seems not very effective.
And also, if you see the effect of the zero waste, it can be seen in long term, but in short term we can't see any difference. So that I don't think that Malaysian will actually practice on it because they have not realized it yet, and they have not seen any difference of their life from 10 years before and 10 years after when they practice zero waste. So I don't think that Malaysia will actually practice zero waste.
You too much shaking my stance. So
Okay, let's back to the main topic. It seems like we discussed like quite a lot of time already. Yeah. So I insist that zero waste living is like quite difficult to implement in our Malaysian citizen. This is because the zero waste lifestyle is very time consuming, and also it's like it will bring a lot of inconvenience to our daily life. So how about others? Because we need to reach a conclusion. Yeah. Let's follow the majority. Yeah.
I think that in Malaysia we can be difficult to practice on zero waste because in my opinion, strict law will shape a disciplined people. Without a strict law, the people will not obey the law and does not practice the zero waste in life. So that I think that in Malaysia it's difficult to practice on zero waste as the law is not strict at all.
Yeah, I agree with Mingwen points because I think Malaysians, again, they are too lazy and unwilling to think of which type of the material does the rubbish belong to when they want to throw the rubbish. So eventually the general waste bin are always full compared with the recycling bins, right? So I insist with my point, which is it is very difficult to practice the zero waste lifestyle in Malaysia.
How about Ma and Kayan?
Yeah.
I still insist of my opinion that we can easy to practice this zero waste in our daily life because we can receive many information about this zero waste through the Facebook or Instagram, and also many articles relate to this, and the user can read through it, and as a long time we will affect by this information and practice this in our daily life, and also convince to our family member or friends. So I still agree that this can be easily practiced in Malaysia.
From my opinion already shaking very, so I'll change my opinion.
You change your stand.
I change my stance because as Minglu says, in a short period it's very hard to see. So it's really hard to practice the zero waste in Malaysia. But in the long term is is just a little bit of percentage up, so it's very hard. And also the zero waste practice life is nowadays is majority, I think from my friend, it's just totally pointing to youngster only, not the oldest. Oldest not just not totally affected by that. So that's it. So after I conclude, so from the majority, I think we all agree that most of us agree
Majority of
that
us.
it's very difficult to practice zero waste in Malaysia, except him. Okay, so
So that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.